Woohoo! Getting started. Fresh, we have technical problems every time we film a video, but it's okay, We're just gonna get used to it eventually, and you know what? It gets edited out of the final cut anyway, so it doesn't even matter, okay? It's just more work for me, more stress for me, and who cares about that at the end of the day? Anyway, welcome back, everyone. Oh god, this video is already going so well. It's so good to see you guys again. Honestly, I had trouble making another video because I didn't know what to talk about with you guys. Got a lot of new fans from the Last of Us video. Welcome aboard. You're in for quite the journey with me, and I'm so sorry that I am your captain. But the most important thing is that I wanted to make sure that what I talked about now is something that you guys would be interested in. And since I didn't have that many requests on the actual video, I decided on the Legend of Korra, because you know what? That show could always use more positivity thrown out there for it, because it is so well hated across the internet. It's getting better. I am actually pleased to report that since I had first watched the show, which was honestly not even that long ago, maybe 3-4 years, the discourse about The Legend of Korra has changed so much in such a positive way, which I'm of course thrilled to see. Thank God, honestly, because it was really mostly negative for a very long time. So now it is a delight for me to talk more about the show, but I still feel that it can use more positivity thrown out there. So I'm going to talk about my favorite season or book, because, you know, we're writers of this show, and that is Book 3, Change. There's a lot to love about Book 3, Change. There's so much that they throw in there for you to get you interested. Right off the bat, they start Korra off showing a lot of growth from the past second season. I know a lot of people didn't like season 2, but whether you liked it or not, you cannot deny that it was one of the biggest points of change for Korra. Take a look at who she was at the beginning of season 2 versus the end. It's a huge difference, and you can definitely see that at the start of Book 3, which is really good that they actually kept that development, even though they kept getting interrupted in their production cycles. Fuck you, Nickelodeon. One thing I also love about this book is that it takes the opportunity to journey outside of Republic City and start broadening Korra's world. While I loved Republic City as a kind of starting point, I did expect us always to bounce off into other territories eventually, which is why it was so great in Book 2 to go to the Southern Water Tribe, somewhere very familiar, and see how things have changed over the course of the years. But what we all really wanted to see, let's be real, is Ba Sing Se. Ba Sing Se was the biggest city in Atla, and it was also one of the places where they spent the most amount of time. So you can imagine that a lot of fans were probably eager to see this place again and see how it's changed, for better or for worse, in The Legend of Korra. Hint, it's mostly for the worse. But it's really nice to see that while the same power dynamics are still in play from Atla, what they actually do for their citizens has changed a lot. It was bad in Atla, and it's even worse in Legend of Korra. Wealth division! The best part of season 3, and the reason why it's my favorite, this is probably the numero uno reason why I think it's the best, is that it's paced excellently. As far as I can tell, season 3 is split into 3 different arcs. The first 4 episodes, which consist of them finding new airbenders, going to Ba Sing Se, recruiting them, and then freeing them from prison. The middle 4 episodes, which includes them journeying to the Metal City, meeting Suyin Beifong and the Metal Clan, getting attacked by Zaheer, and Korra almost getting kidnapped. And then, of course, the final arc, starting with the stakeout, and then continuing for the episodes where the queen is murdered, and then the last 3. The reason why this season is paced so well is because of these 3 different arcs, and how they each have their own plots to resolve that build up to the main overarching story. And each of these 3 arcs has their own climax. The prison break in episode 4 is a delight to watch. The first time Zaheer tries to openly capture Korra is terrifying, and, of course, the finale, which I'll talk about later, is jaw-dropping and probably my favorite episode of Atla ever. I loved learning more and more about the Red Lotus as we got closer and closer to Zaheer, and the connections between the other seasons and Korra's past was actually incredible. It's amazing that they were able to justify Unalaq's actions and actually provide them in a different context from this season and give his plans more backstory. They even are able to connect most of Korra's life and why she was so sheltered, which is something that a lot of people ignore about Korra and her personality, but is one thing I'm really glad that they addressed outright in this season. Another reason this season rocks is because of Zaheer and his crew. They are my favorite villains in all of Avatar for sure. I mean, Ozai is just blah blah, I'm gonna destroy and take over everything, rah rah rah. Amon is a very close second. But Zaheer, I feel I could identify more with his message, even though his message is still terrible. It was very easy to root for Zaheer's gang, especially when they're up against people like the Earth Queen, who is just generally terrible. Also, Zaheer's group, against pretty much the entirety of Season 3, is fighting against odds that are not in their favor. So it is so easy to root for them and for them to show off how skilled they are. Their prison breaks are a delight, and I like how each person in the crew is designed so well and clearly has their own backstory, unique bending technique, I mean that we saw. And it's clear that they're their own characters. Even though we don't learn much about their backstories, they definitely could have spent more seasons on them, but you know, I get it. I get how it's structured, and I'm not even ripping on it, okay? I get why they had to do it. I don't long for more backstory. I'm just saying they could have done it. They could have, if they wanted to. Season 3 also has probably the best world building, because while we went to the Southern Water Tribe in Season 2, it wasn't too different from what we saw in Atla, but in Season 3, we really get to see some new places and some actual key locations to set up for later, such as New Ba Sing Se, of course. We get to see Zaofu and a whole metal city, which is a huge step forward in advancement. We get to see what happened of the Si Wong Desert, and we get to go to the ice springs that the gang were at in the original story when they went to the library. So it's pretty cool to see all those at the Misty Palms Oasis and all those little Easter eggs. Plus, it's so nice to have the spirits just kind of around. The vines kind of infecting Republic City and the spirits living everywhere. It's a really nice touch to the world that gives it a much more whimsical vibe that a lot of people don't really appreciate about this show, but they should, because it fucking rocks. And that is one of the best decisions that they made, and I will stand by that forever. I love that they brought the spirits back. I think it is so smart, and I think it makes the world so much more colorful than the mysterious "I just traveled to the spirit world by accident" BS. Didn't super love in Atla because it was very, very convenient. Another thing that's really good about this season is that it finds a lot of time to find uses for the side characters. Korra has generally a bigger cast of characters than Atla, or at least gives more screen time to side characters, and this is the season where a lot of them get a lot of development. Think about Janora, Kai, Mako even gets his time to shine this season, and seeing himself in Kai. Bolin gets development and with their grandma. Asami gets their time to shine in the desert and also bonds a lot with Korra, starting their relationship. Yes, it starts in book 3, don't even test me on that point. Everyone gets their moment. Kaya gets to pop off more than once. Boomy gets to go with his new airbending skills, and he gets to fight with his brother. Just so many cool moments to love from all of these minor characters, building up to the moments from the major characters. And, of course, the last 3 episodes of this season are nothing short of masterpieces. First, the ultimatum. There's a siege on the, what is it, the northern, is that the Northern Air Temple? It is one of the most intense episodes that Avatar has ever put out. I legitimately thought Tenzin was going to die, and the airbenders are so precious. They just came back. It is such high stakes. The villains have such a good plan and flank them so well. It's unbelievable. And then there's family on the line, and Tenzin and his siblings fight together, getting over the drama that they built up from last season. Oh, so good, so good. Plus, it starts out with Ba Sing Se just absolutely falling to pieces. I didn't even mention this because the last 3 are the real intense ones, but also killing the Earth Queen. Come on. After Ultimatum is Enter the Void. Enter the Void is another one of the strongest episodes I've ever seen. The use of CG in all these fights in this episode is insane. And we get to see so many awesome characters pay off that we were waiting for all this time. Him fighting with Korra is excellent. We get to see death just kind of like quick and visceral and violent, something that Avatar has never done before. The plans that the heroes come up with to counter the villains are actually really smart, and there's actually armies fighting armies. It's crazy, all-out war. I love it. And Zaheer's final ass pole is one of the best reveals I've ever seen. I mean, that shot going over the ledge to reveal him flying. Oh my god. I don't even think they could have animated that better if they tried. That is such an amazing shot. I love it. And the orchestra behind it. And this season ends on a really tragic and emotional note, which is something that Avatar never really dared to do before. Book 2 of Avatar, The Last Airbender, definitely tried, but it was definitely still a happy ending with Aang, like, coming to. Korra's fate at the end of this season is completely uncertain. She's broken. We don't know what is going to become of her next, or what she is even going to do, if she'll even be able to do her job anymore. It's terrifying, and it's heartbreaking. The airbending ceremony is so emotional, not only for the reason that Korra is watching and feels like she's giving up what she needs to do, also for the reason that there are all these new airbenders and all this change is flowing through the world, and it represents the idea of the entire book, and oh my god. I could gush about this season forever. I mean, literally the last episode, Venom of the Red Lotus, I don't think I've ever seen animation top it. That scene where Korra fights Zaheer. Aang Ozai who? I'm sorry? That scene is incredible to look at. Oh my god. And the way the bending is used is so much more precise. Like, Korra just can't throw rocks at him. She tries, it doesn't work. But anyway, that is what I love about Book 3 of Legend of Korra. I genuinely think it is the best book of Avatar, but if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments below what you think the best book is. And let me know what book you think I should do next. Sorry, my cat is over there knocking shit over like usual. Get down! Get down! Get down! But if you enjoyed this video, consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/TV_wins. There you can get content super early before it comes out on YouTube. You can request anything you want to see on the channel, and you get reactions full time whenever the reactions start. We're going to be reacting to The Last of Us soon, so enjoy those when they come out. I am excited for it, and you should be too, and I will see you guys for the next video. I promise it won't take me as long as this one did. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.